Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Lindsay, and this is Life with Lindsay. Today, we have a very long-awaited WIP Chat. Yay! And the crowd applause. Roar. Anyway, if you guys are new here, hi, welcome. My name is Lindsay. I do mainly diamond painting and other crafting-related content. If you've been here before, hi, welcome back. I am so happy that you guys are here. I just realized that I put all the colors down and I forgot to put the plastic cover up. So I'm going to just kind of finagle that a little bit. If you guys are new here and you're like, why is everybody so excited for your WIP Chat? Well, let me tell you, I've been sick for what feels like forever. So I am going to tell you about my week. I'm going to keep doing this the same way that I normally do this, where I really just tell you about like the previous week, and then the next video is the previous week, so on and so forth. Thing with that is, by the time I'm filming this is already like 3 days past when I normally have a chance to film. So I'm going to be telling you guys about the week of, I think it's January 15th, ish, somewhere along those lines. Where did I put my pen? Oh, it's literally right here. So you guys are going to see lots of things happening. I just want to point this out. If you guys did not watch the event roundup video for weeks 2 and 3, which I will leave up in the eye, this gorgeous ring came from my sister's shop. It's called Bubbie's Bling. Check her out. She does ship. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15-ish colors, I think, on my desk right now. So I'm going to just, you know, do my thing here. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to be rotating through lots of pens. Hopefully the lighting on this is okay. I had to actually zoom out the camera, so my flash is not on. But because I have the recording arm like over on that side of my table, I can't really reach far enough without zooming. So hopefully this works out well enough for you guys. I am super excited to be sitting here filming and recording, which is such a weird thing to say. Like, I'm sure there are other content creators out there who are like, oh my god, I love recording, it's my favorite thing. But sitting and recording for an hour plus to do a WIP Chat and then to edit and get it up. And when I say edit, for me, like, I'm literally throwing in like a GIF here and there, or adding my music, my intro, things like that. I'm not doing extensive editing. I don't have time for that. If that's your thing, do you. You do you. I eventually will take off the nail polish. If you guys are here when I got my accidental Christmas manicure, that was, I don't even know if that was November or December, so I'm shocked that I still have any nail polish on, but here we go. So, if you guys are new here, I can't remember if I said this or not, but I would love for you to like, subscribe, hit the bell, hop aboard the Hot Mess Express. Choo-choo! We're going to leave Frustration Station today and go to Happyville. That's my goal. I have just been so incredibly run down for so long. The phrase, I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's how I feel about my life right now. I will be going back and forth. I have my tablet over here that does have my notes, if you will. If you did not know, for any reason, which, you know, that's fine, I can no longer post on my Instagram from my phone. So people who are tagging me in anything event related and I'm not sharing it to my stories, it's because I can't. The only abilities that I have are from my tablet all of a sudden. So I cannot post anything to my story, my feed. I can't create a reel. I can't do any of that stuff from my phone. And I've had people say to me, well, is it your phone? Is it your account? Is it Instagram? I'm going to assume it's a glitch with Instagram. Again, I don't know for sure because I don't work for Instagram. But here's my theory. Here's my thoughts. My daughter also has an Instagram account. I run that account from my phone. The same phone that I use to run my Life with Lindsay account. Cool. Great. Her account is unaffected. I can do anything on her account. I'm only restricted on my own personal. I don't know. I've been reporting it. I don't even know how long it's been now. A week and a half, maybe? It's been too long for my liking, and I'm struggling with it, to be completely frank. So, if you guys see anything that gets posted, it's when I'm around my tablet, which I'm not around my tablet very often because my tablet is up here in my craft room, and I haven't been crafting much because I've been sick. So it's been a fun, like, vicious cycle of stuff, I guess. I have a feeling that I'm going to finish this section before this WIP Chat is over. If you are here and you are participating in the Alice in a Winter Wonderland event, yay, so exciting. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I will leave up in the eye, I'll leave the announcement video for this year. You still have time. Any Alice or Alice themed canvas, and you just post it to Instagram using the hashtag Alice in a Winter Wonderland, and I will put that across the screen here for you guys. And honestly, it's been so much fun, and it's been really sad for me on my end that as the host, I've barely been able to do anything. I've gotten almost nothing accomplished in terms of my own canvas. I am on the very bottom row. I probably have to change my wax out. If you guys ever see me just rotating through a ton of pens and complaining, usually I run out of wax, it seems like, in everything at the same time, and I just don't ever feel like changing the wax. But I have tons of different pens out on my desk. If there's ever any you have a question about, you can let me know down in the comments. And I usually rotate them out based off of what size placer I want to be working with. I don't mind using a large placer for smaller areas, but then I feel like I have to fill the wax more often, and that's more of a pain in the butt. So that's one reason why you'll see me doing it. Not that anybody has, but anyway, so I was really loving being able to share everybody's progress, but now that's stopped. And I'm nervous to go back and try to do that over and over and over again from my tablet, because I wonder if maybe that's why I got restricted. They were like, this girl's sharing too much. I don't know. For a platform that's built on social media and social sharing, it sure seems like they don't like it when you do it. So, let's talk about the week, you guys. Oh, total side note. In this video, there will be an Easter egg. Or 2 or 3, I don't know how many. If you don't know what that is, a little thing will pop up on the screen. I'm going to throw one up here. This is an example. This does not count. And if you see something throughout this video that you believe is an Easter egg, screenshot it and send it to me on Instagram. All of my information is down below. If for some reason you don't use Instagram, or you would prefer to send it to me in email, that information is listed down below as well. The first person to do so, and to do it correctly, will be my featured account in the next roundup video. What does that mean for you? That means that your account can be featured. You can either choose your own account, or you can do, if you have a small business that you run or that you love, that you want to showcase, so you can do that. So it's a really cool opportunity. People love, like, seeing their name and their page, their home page. Sorry, words are hard. On camera. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask. I wanted to see. I was checking out. This is my gorgeous box of drills from DiamondPaintingDrills.com. They are one of the event sponsors, by the way. So if you are looking to pick up any sort of special drills, crystals, ABs, glow in the dark, whatever it is that you want, check them out. Use the code #Alice. I'll put that on the screen right here. And you'll be able to save some money. We have a lot of amazing event sponsors this time around. I was trying to see if I had like a copper. I have the copper oxide, but I didn't know if I had a more like coppery one in there. I have gold as well. Sorry, I'm multitasking here. So I have gold and copper oxide. I was kind of thinking like something in between the two might work for what I'm thinking, but I haven't done it yet. So this is the watch from the White Rabbit. Let's see. I'm super organized here, you guys. It's gonna be really hard to tell in the photo, but this little guy, Come on, focus. Okay, well, it's probably too busy. So this right here. So I was thinking if I wanted to do it in metallics. There's another one over here. I am currently putting in some crystals for the stars along the border. I'm waiting for my orange ones. Actually, I believe that this came in the mail. I just haven't had a chance to work on it yet or unbox it yet. But anyway, so let's get into it. So Sunday, my daughter, you guys ever, it doesn't have to be your kid. You guys ever see a kid do something that you're like, I can't believe you just did that and I'm going to lose my mind? No? Okay, well, let's talk about it. For anyone who does not know, this is my Muni-made little trash can. I'm going to put this little piece of trash right in. It has a locking lid. I think it's super cute. You can see my trash. Not too bad. It could also be a good, like, long-term storage if you're one of those people that, like, saves up your trash. I do. But I have a long-term storage. Anyway, you guys, I'm so rambly. This is just a lot of, like, color changes. So, anyway, so my kid did a butt bump on the couch. You don't know what I'm talking about. Like, literally where you drop down onto your butt and you bounce off of whatever surface you're trying to bounce off of. Not surprisingly, my child treats our couch, any bed, any, like, chair as her own personal trampoline. This kid butt bumped and her diaper was so full that she got piss all over my couch. And so, needless to say, I was not happy. What color did I just pull out? Oh, L. I was not happy. And she had spilled milk on the other couch. We've got two couches. One that's like a regular couch and one that's a 1.5 love seat. Which is totally fine for like Briar and I to sit on together. But she had spilled milk all over that couch the one day, and I tried to clean it, and now it just looks like I have, like, dried white powder all over my couch. It does not make me happy, so I was like, great, cool. I'm gonna have to deal with cleaning the other side of my couch. I was not one of those people that was blessed with, like, stain removal skills. Like, there's some people out there, you can be like, oh, man, how do I get this out of my clothes? And they're like, oh, mix 1 part vinegar, 1 part Blue Dawn, 1 part this, spray it, let it sit in the window, and it'll come right out. And I'm like, how do you know this? Like, nothing I do ever takes stains out. If you guys have any great stain removal tips for furniture, let me know down below. But also, like, I am notorious for getting, like, a drip of oil from whatever it is that I'm eating right on, like, the chest of my shirt. And then it's front and center every time I wear that shirt. So I was super annoyed. But, that's basically, like, where we left off in the last WIP Chat, which I will leave that one up in the eye for you guys as well. So, Monday, we got our first, like, real snow of the season. It was a couple inches. And I love, like, every time I would talk to, like, my mother-in-law, for example, she'd be like, did you take her out in the snow? And I'm like, no, I'm super sick. Like, what about me being sick and a child wanting to play in the snow do you think goes well together? And she understands to an extent, the child, not the mother-in-law. The mother-in-law understands. She's just trying to make conversation. And I love my mother-in-law. You guys have heard me say this many, many times on my videos. But my problem is my mother-in-law will say something to just say it because she doesn't know what else to say. And all the time, almost every time she says something just to, like, keep a conversation going, she'll be like, oh, did you guys go to the store today? Or did you go do this today? And I'm like, no. And then, of course, what does my daughter say? I want to go to the store. I want to do this. And I'm just like, oh my God. So, but then it did snow again. I don't remember how many days later. And it wasn't good, like, playing in the snow kind of snow. It was like that wet, heavy snow. So it wouldn't have been super fun anyway. But we ended up watching the Gummy Bears show. If you guys remember the Gummy Bears, let me know. From like the 80s and 90s. Like I think it ran from like 85 to 91 or something like that. I'll put a picture up on the screen here. Briar is really into Sunny. Sunny is the one that has like the yellow hair that is like super like tough, like almost like Anne Burrell hair. from Food Network, professional chef, Amberelle. If you guys don't, you guys don't know who I'm talking about, just Google all this stuff. Like, I'm not going to fill this video up with a million gifts or this video won't be up for a week. But, she was super into it. And so, like, we don't do TV during the day typically, but it was a snow day and it was mommy was sick and, you know, my husband had a million things to do. It just, it worked. And for some reason, she's super enthralled by gummy bears, which at this point now, like, I can't even tell you how many episodes we've watched, but, at that point we watched like 6 episodes that day and they're all like half-hour episodes. But she's super into it, and she really likes Sunny because Sunny's hair reminds her of My Little Ponies. Why is it that this child is so into, like, stuff that came out of the 80s? Except for me. She doesn't really care about me. Me, she's like, you're annoying me, Mom. Her new thing right now, which is driving me insane, is when she doesn't want to hear what I have to say. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be me telling her to pick up her toys. It could be me telling her that it's time to go to bed. It could be me telling her, like, stop putting your foot in my face. Like, it doesn't matter. Her new thing now is, no, 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 no. Just saying it over me. And I'm like, just because you say that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop talking or that you don't have to listen. Or she'll do, and I know this is totally, like, age-appropriate stuff. Like, she'll put her hands in front of her face, like, as if I can't see her, so I can't hear her. Or she can't hear me. And I'm like, girl, I see you. Like, but, I finally got to start my, this canvas here, which I said is, Nightmare for Alice. I will link the unboxing for this up in the eye. This is my first ever kit from Bella Sephina. So far, I'm enjoying it. It is pretty big and bulky. It is a 70 by 70, so it takes up, like, the entirety of my desk. So having to shift my canvas, like when I'm done this section, I'll pull the whole canvas towards me and then I'll work in the section above it and I'll then work from left to right. That's going to be a little bit of an ordeal, but I'll make it work. I personally don't mind larger canvases, but I prefer them to be long or wide, not both, because then it makes it a little bit easier to maneuver, but that's just a personal preference. And then I ordered those special drills, like the orange crystals and things like that. So I'm excited. I have some goodies from a couple of the event sponsors that I wanted to unbox together. And I'm still waiting for one package. That package is international, so I don't know how long it'll take to get here. But I'm very excited. So keep your eyeballs peeled for that. And hopefully I can get back into the swing of actually sitting down and recording some stuff again. It's been, I know most people have been very, very understanding about me not feeling well and me not being able to actually sit and record. I've had, I think 2 people reach out to me, and I don't think that it was intentionally rude, but it was like, when are you going to put up your WIP Chat? After I explained why I didn't have a chance to record it yet. So, you know, I just need to, like, slowly build back my strength. But I will say, for everyone who reaches out and checks in on me, like, it makes my heart so incredibly happy. You guys have no idea how much that means to me. But, what else do we do? Oh yeah, so it's been since last Monday, so yeah, a week and a half since I've been able to do pretty much anything. So I can't, like I said earlier, I can't share to my stories, my feeds. I can't post a reel. I can't share anybody else's media. So if there's a reel somebody else posted and I want to share it, I can't. I don't know where that just went. Oh, there it is. Come on. I know earlier I touched base on this a little bit. I don't know. I'm so all over the place, you guys. My brain is super scattered, what's new. But if I uninstall the app and reinstall or log out and log back in, I will lose all of my reels that are in my draft folder. And so me, not like many other people who make content, I try to do more than one thing at a time. So I'll try to batch film if I can, or I will get them in there so that I can edit them, or they will already be edited and ready to go, and I just need a time to post them. So I've got hours and hours and hours worth of work just sitting in that folder, and I don't know if if losing it is worth it. That's really what it comes down to. I was hoping by hopping on the tablet that I'd be able to download them and save them to my phone. And even if I have to realign them with audio, I could do that, but I can't even access them from my tablet. I don't have that capability. So, you know, if anybody has any suggestions that does not involve uninstalling or logging out, please let me know. I have reached out via email and instant messenger on Facebook, and both have gotten automated replies stating that, like, this is no longer an active channel of communications. I don't know if there's, like, a human being that works customer service at all over at Instagram, or if everything's just, like, you know, automated at this point. So, I don't know. Tuesday was a busy day. Tuesdays usually are a busy day in our house because Tuesdays are ice skating. And then from ice skating, we usually, you know, do lunch and whatever other errands we need to do. So we went ice skating. There was the woman that was there with her son from the previous week. But it was very strange because she didn't want to push her son. And I know there are some people out there that think that the only way you can encourage your child to do something is by being positive and upbeat and saying, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But the thing is, your kid's not going to know if they want to do it until they get out on the ice. And they do not like when parents stand by the doors, because then it distracts the kids, not just your kid, but other people's kids. And then kids want to come off the ice. So, like, I remember the first time we were there and our coach basically told Brian, like, you need to put your butt back in the stands. Like, don't stand over here. Because if she knows you're here, she's not going to try. And she was right. And so it just seemed weird that, like, she was signing her kid up for lessons, but she wasn't even, like, encouraging him to get on the ice. She was just like, well, if you don't want to, we can just sit here. And then there's a little boy in our group who's 2 years old. So then he sees that the door's open and he wants to come off the ice. And sometimes his mom leaves, like, the whole rink lobby area, because if he sees her, it's game over. And then he just wants to come off. And then now this kid's seeing the other mom. And, you know, I don't know. It seems like she was coming with another mom who either she was related to or was friends with. And that girl's daughter is loving it. It just seemed weird. It was very awkward. I don't know how else to describe it, but, you know, like, I would never force my child to do something against their will, but it's hard to say that your child likes or doesn't like something when they're not even trying it. Like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves when people, like, I had a friend growing up, like an adult friend when I was an adult, that used to tell me all the time, well, I don't like Chinese food. And I'm like, you don't? And he's like, no. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really surprising. You know, did you try anything out? And he's like, I've never had it. Well, then how do you know you don't like it? Well, I had one dish once ever and I didn't like it, so I don't like Chinese food. And I'm like, that's like saying, like, for me, here's a great example. I don't like ham at all. I don't like ham. I don't like the texture of it. I just don't like ham. But I like bacon. I like pork tenderloins. I like pork chops. I like other cuts of pork. That's like saying I had one piece of pork ever, didn't love it, and so now I just don't like this thing at all. And it's like, Which actually is one of the things. My husband grew up with a very limited palate because he grew up in like small town USA with parents who grew up in small town USA. So he never had access to a lot of things. Like he never had Chinese food till he went to college. But there's like almost nothing this man won't try once. I don't know if there's anything that he won't try once, but there's definitely some things he's tried that he's like, I don't want to try that again. But I like that. I like that he's an adventurous eater. Why am I getting so many of these drills that are like see-through in certain spots? It's so weird. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of trash, like when you look in the little trash can, but I feel like I've put a lot of trash in there. Can you see that? Anyway, so total side note. But it was kind of sad because that little boy, like when you're wearing ice skates, you know, like kids are obnoxious. Like, let's just get that out of the way. If you have a kid and you're like, my kid's a sweet angel, there's no time ever in your kid's life that you can say that they've never had a tantrum of any sorts. It's just not possible. So this kid was literally kicking and screaming, and he's wearing ice skates. He's kicking with sharp blades on his feet at the coach, and not once did the mother say, please stop kicking her, or don't do that, or anything. And I'm like, well, so, spoiler alert, that was the last lesson that we saw him at, because for this week's lesson, he wasn't there. Now, that doesn't mean that he won't be there again, but I don't think that he will be, personally. So, we went down the street to get lunch. Briar said she wanted a grilled cheese. There's a place. It's pretty mediocre, but it's right there. So we got that. I got a grilled cheese. She got a grilled cheese. I told my husband he should probably get a grilled cheese because then we could all have matching grilled cheeses. And he kind of rolled his eyes at me, which, you know, I get it. It's funny. I just giggled and then my daughter chuckled over the monitor, like the exact same cadence. And then we had to do a Staples run, and then we had to go pick up her medicine. And then I had the bright idea. I've been working on this scrap project for my daughter. It is a crocheted scarf that I'm using the puff stitch with. I love it. It's beautiful. But I made it out of this yarn that I got from like a sampler kit off of Amazon. Very, very, very small balls of yarn. Those like little mini skeins. Very little. And, where is that color? Oh, well, I'm just going to use this. Sorry. This is my 310, which I have in a really big, drill tray over there. But I just need like 5 or 6 of them, so I'm just gonna pour them out. Anyway, so then I used some baby blanket yarn that I had left over from when I made her a cowl. It was like one of the first things I made that wasn't amigurumi. If you guys are interested in any of my crochet stuff, I am definitely a newbie, beginner all the way, but I will leave my playlist for that up in the eye. If you have any interest, go check it out. And so I use that, and the scarf is still not long enough. It's still not long enough. So I was like, all right, why don't we plan to go get more yarn? And my husband's like, what? And I'm like, we can go to Michael's, we can get dinner. So that's what we did. So we went to the Michael's, that I always assumed was the better Michael's. My husband's been there a bunch of times for like stuff for him. Where are these purples coming from? This is fascinating watching me pull out 2 drills that don't belong. So we went to Michael's to get more yarn, and she did a really good job. I let her, excuse me, pick out the color she wanted. If you guys know anything about yarn, the scrap yarn that I was using was a size 3, a DK yarn, and all of the other scrap yarn that I have at home is all weight 4, like a worsted. So it was too bulky, so I was like, well, let's go pick one out. So I showed her the little section that had the right size, and then I let her pick a color that matched. So she picked out this pastel purple. It's really pretty. I think I'm almost done. I keep debating. The problem is I can't work on it when my kiddo's around because she wants me to work on crochet stuff all the time. But then she has to like step on the yarn or try to pull the skein or like grab the hook out of my hand. And I'm like, girl, I can't do this if you're going to do all of that. But she won't just like sit there and just let me crochet. God forbid. But it's also something that I need to see that it's laying on her right and that it's long enough. And, I'm going to make it, my goal is to make it like a cute little scarf, but long enough so that when she's a little bit bigger, I can just have buttons on the end of it and she can wear it as a cowl instead, if that's what she would prefer. So I keep thinking I'm really good on size, and then I stop for the night, and then I measure it on her, and I'm like, oh, I was way off. Or, oh, maybe I should add another row here, or do this, and, so that's why we got more yarn, and it's been a slow project. I will say, I really am enjoying crochet. I don't know how people do it for like hours and hours and hours. Like I feel like my hands and my wrists hurt when I do it for like a really long time, but maybe that's just me because I'm a newbie at it. I don't know. But we did that, and then we went over to Mission Barbecue, which is just down the street, and it was funny. The girl working gave her a free brownie. But we had already made plans to go to Cold Stone Creamery, which is like across the street. So we had the brownie the next day. Come on. And guys, I love Cold Stone. If you've never had Cold Stone, you are missing out. If you have one near you, I highly recommend that you try it out. But my husband will sit in the back of the car with my daughter, and they'll share a sundae together. And then I'll sit in the front of the car like a regular Fatty Magoo and just go to town on my own, because that's how I like to do things. Oops, sorry, I hit the camera. These drills look like they're like sliding off here. Anyway, so we did that. And then, it was funny. I was just like chilling in the room. Brian walks by and he goes, "Your hair looks really nice today." And I was like, "Thank you. I don't often get those kinds of compliments." And then he just looked at me and he goes, "Well, your hair's never down." And I was like, "Touche, friend. That would also make the difference. Would it not? You know?" My husband's hair always looks nice. My husband's got like dark, shiny, beautiful hair. And then Maria, who I absolutely love and adore, had sent us a beautiful package from Mexico that Mexican Customs decided they wanted more. And so she was totally bummed out and actually bought a couple things to send to us from sites based in the US so that they wouldn't have to go through Mexican Customs. And one of those packages included some Mexican candies. And there was no information in the box at all. Like, it didn't say what this treat was or if it was meant to be eaten with something or in a certain way. Like, I was talking about this in my live. I went live. At the time of this recording, I went live yesterday on Instagram for like 3+ hours. And I was talking about this there, but this story is like one of the highlights of my week. My husband grabbed a powder, and he assumed it would be similar to like Fun Dip, which if you've never had Fun Dip, it comes in an envelope. I'm sure I'll put a picture of it here, but it comes in an envelope, and then one half is like a sugar stick, and the other half is like powdered flavored sugar. And you lick the stick, dip it in the Fun Dip, and then you eat that. You lick it back into your mouth. And the point is that, like, the one side, which is like the solid sugar candy stick side, is like your lollipop stick, but it's an edible lollipop stick. But if I were to send that to somebody who's never seen Fun Dip, they might not know that's how you utilize it. So that's exactly what happened. Brian had no idea how to eat said treat, and basically just took a straight shot of like this lemon powder or lime powder, limon. I don't remember what it was at this point, but the look of horror on his face when he realized, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. And then, of course, we found out later that, oh, that's meant to be like sprinkled onto fruit or like sprinkled onto this. And we're like, whoops. You guys, when I tell you I was dying laughing, Brian's like, he's trying to chug water to get the taste of it out of his mouth, and he's just shaking his head like violently, like, no, 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 no. And I told Maria, and she was dying laughing at the story. She's like, that is the most like Mexican gangster story like ever. And I was like, well, you know, Brian, Mexican gangster at hand. It was amazing. It was not good for Brian, but it was amazingly entertaining. But it was so funny. So
just
yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I forgot you're doing WIP Chat.
Sorry, my husband's doing his own thing over there, and he forgot I was recording because he has earbuds in. But yeah, so that was amazing. So I was like, you know what? Before we eat anything else from here, let's look it up first. So, but Maria was like, oh my God, girlfriend, I needed that laugh. Like you guys, I can't even replicate it. It was amazing though. So then the next day was just like a totally lazy day. Stayed at home, did absolutely nothing. And then I got super frustrated because like Instagram still wasn't working. You're probably going to hear me complain about my Instagram not working a lot because like that was something that was really, stressful to me. So, we watched some more Gummy Bears, and then I looked it up online, like, to see if there were any toys for it, totally forgetting, like, oh yeah, any toy for it is gonna be vintage, which, can we talk about the fact that 90s things are considered vintage? Like, what? No, I don't like that. I mean, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. And so, of course, there's, like, no toys for it, but there's a pop for it, which, spoiler alert, if you watch next week's video, we got her the pop. But it was like kind of depressing because like I really wanted to get her, you know, something from the show, and then I don't know why it spaced on me that would totally be vintage toys, and vintage toys equals expensive. Quick water break. But we did another Walmart order, which, speaking of which, I've got to remember to place yet another Walmart order. Where is, oh, it's right there. For some reason, like bread is one of those things that has just been like hard to get delivered. And I know that it exists, but for some reason they're not swapping the bread that we've picked for different bread. This time when they had a substitution, I had a window to go in and approve it or deny it. You know, we're very lucky we don't have any like food allergies, so it's not like we needed a specific brand because it was gluten-free or dairy-free or this free or whatever. And I was basically just trying to get like the cheap Walmart brand sliced white bread, and that got canceled in our order, and I was like, I would have taken Wonder Bread, like anything. I needed something, you know? But we've been doing pretty good. Walmart Plus, I highly recommend if you guys have that near you. It's been pretty good for us. We signed up for it as like a trial when I got sick because it was the easiest way to get like cold medicine and stuff in the house without sending a sick person to the store. But if you like answer some survey questions, you can extend your free trial. So I want to know, people who do regular grocery delivery, like from their local supermarket or from like a Walmart Plus, do you guys add a tip every single time? Because it, like, I'm not a cheap person by any means. Like you will almost never see me tip below 20% when I go out to eat, because like servers got to make a living. Of course, if you're like the world's worst server, like if I'm having a really, really bad experience, I might go slightly under. I've never given a bad tip, but anyway, that's beside the point. Anyway, so you want me to pay a monthly fee or a yearly fee for your service, and then you have an employee in the store spending however long it takes to put together your particular order. And then you want me to tip the driver who's bringing it from, like, I feel like it's like maybe a mile's drive. And it often defaults to like a very high value. I'm like, why do you want me to tip $12 on a couple groceries? So my question to you guys is, people who frequent these kinds of services, do you tip every single time? And let me know down below, because I'm totally serious about this. Like, it's great, but like, I don't want to be... I know that you spend the fee for Walmart Plus or like your local grocery ones for the convenience, but then why am I being asked to tip on top of it? And also, like, the person driving it to my house has the easiest job. They literally go from the store to my house, drop it on my front step, and leaves. The person who's going out and collecting all the groceries and putting my order together, they're the ones who are, I mean, should be getting tipped, right? Like, I don't know. But I'm really, really curious. And then I was just really in the mood for lasagna. Brian made a lasagna. It was incredible. Incredible. And then he was outside and he's like, there's a fire truck out here. This is like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, what do you mean there's a fire truck? Lo and behold, there's a fire truck. Apparently someone in the neighborhood had reported that it smelled like gas. So the fire department came and checked it out. But it was like, fire truck, just keep strolling into our neighborhood. And then we never saw anybody doing anything. I'm just like, so there's just fire trucks parked here? Like, we never saw a person get out. And then I saw one person get out, and it looked like he may have been like, you know, fire police or fire chief. He got out of a regular car, and that was the only person the entire time that we saw go in or out. And then there was another fire truck around the other cul-de-sac. Like, I live in a development, and anyway, so but they weren't here very long. And then the next day was Thursday, and I went to get Briar out of her room, and she was telling me about these ghost dogs. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what now, kid? She's like, yeah, there's ghost dogs, and they come and they visit me at night, and they check on me. And I'm like, are they real dogs, or are they, like, ghosts? And she calls them ghostesses. Ghostesses. And I'm like, okay, is it a good ghost or a bad ghost? And she's like, it's a good ghost, mommy. It's a doggy. So I don't know if this is just, like, vivid imagination stuff, but then my husband said, like, a couple days later that she was talking to him about the ghost dogs, too. And I'm like, okay. I don't know if you guys believe in any of that kind of stuff, but it is always said that children are much more open to supernatural things and beings. I don't know if it's because of, like, the innocence or, you know, whatever it is. So I don't know. She's been talking about these ghost dogs for a few days too. I don't know if it's like an idea she got from watching something on TV with us, or like, I have no idea. But she seems pretty adamant that there are ghost dogs, and I was like, okay. I mean, and who am I to tell her if that's really what she's seeing? Like, who am I to tell her, like, that's not there? But she's like, now they're outside and they're sleeping. And I'm like, okay. I didn't do a whole lot that day. That was another pretty lazy day. We were going to do a taco kit, but when I did the Walmart order the day before, I forgot to add produce. And I was like, I'm not really down for, like, a taco that's just, like, meat and cheese. And we do taco kits pretty regularly because they're easy. You know, they can stay in your pantry for a long time. They come with all of the stuff you need you just have to add the meat and the cheese. Like, it comes with the taco seasoning, and it comes with the taco sauce. Some of them do, not all of them. And I don't know, I just, you know, I didn't think I was going to finish, I thought I was going to finish this section while I'm doing my WIP Chat, but now that I'm here with you all, I'm not entirely sure that that's accurate. But anyway, we ended up ordering Thai food. I just wanted Asian food And I was fine doing Chinese. I was fine doing Japanese. My thing is, like, the Chinese restaurant does not deliver, so we have to go pick that up, which is not a big deal. But, like, when you're being lazy, you just don't want to leave the house. But, man, when we order from either the Thai or the Japanese restaurant, they have such amazing lunch specials that, like, sometimes, like, I don't want to spend double for getting the exact same thing for dinner. But it was good. We had, I don't even remember what we ordered for Briar at this point, but she did pretty good. Did I write down what I got us? Oh, no. The other meal that we had on hand from our meal kit, it was pasta. But my husband had made lasagna the night before, so I kind of wanted another option. And then I think the other option, I think both of our dinner options were both noodles. So, and then we ended up watching Law & Order SVU, which, have you guys ever seen a show in your life ever take as many breaks as Law & Order? Like, they were like, and we'll be back after the Olympics. And my husband's like, son of a bitch. They're like, here, in 2022, you'll have 2 episodes, and then we'll disappear for 6 months and come back. And you're like, no, I want more Law & Order. But yeah. And then but I'm always all in. I love SVU. I am also enjoying the organized crime. I was a huge fan of Criminal Intent. I didn't love the original Law & Order as much, although, like, rest in peace, Jerry Orbach. I loved him. Him with, oh man, what's his name? Detective Logan. They were a good pair. The problem with the regular Law & Order is they just cycled through too many sets of partners. And, like, you'd be like, all right, I kind of like this guy. And then, like, oh, now he has a new partner. Like, oh, okay, now there's a new this. And, I don't know. It lasted a really long time. And I'm excited that one's coming back. But, I loved Criminal Intent. Vincent D'Onofrio played him so well. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Let me know down below, which is your favorite Law & Order. Friday, I was feeling down again. Briar really wanted to be doing stuff, and I was like, look, kid, like, mommy just needs to feel better. If you guys don't know, I tested positive for COVID. I got sick, like, right after Christmas. And that took me out for close to 3 weeks. And it is now, like, a month later, and I still don't fully have my energy back. This is one of those things that, like, the residual sucks almost as much as, like, when I actually got sick. And it's like an exhaustion that you can't shake. Like when you have the flu, that kind of exhaustion. But, like, I wasn't feeling actively sick at that point. I was just, like, literally doing one little errand. Like, I had to run garbage from the kitchen to the front door and then go back to the kitchen to get something and then go back to the front door area where the bathroom was. And I just needed to stop because I could not catch my breath. And it's been hard. And then I got an ear infection about a week ago at this point, and I'll talk about that. But the ear infection is a secondary infection from the COVID, and I feel like I just can't catch a break. Like, literally in the last month, I would say there have maybe been like 4 days where I really felt good. And those are probably the 4 days that I've actually gotten anything accomplished. But so Friday, she really wanted to do something, and he took her over to the play place. We have a 3-month pass to this indoor play place, and we go, and it's a good way for her to, like, socialize with other kids, even though most of the time she just keeps, like, very to herself. But it was funny because Brian texted me. He's like, somebody here just came up to Briar and was like, "Hey, Briar." And I don't know who it is. Turns out she was like, "Oh, I'm friends with your wife and my sister." And then he's like, "Oh," he put two and two together. Crazy thing is, she hasn't seen my daughter, like, in person or even, like, a photo in, like, probably 2.5 years because of the pandemic. And Briar is wearing a mask. And, like, I don't post photos of Briar on my social media, like, my personal accounts, nothing. So it's not like she knew what she looked like. And yeah, she still looks the same, but we're talking about the difference between a kid who's 1.5 and a kid who's 4. You know, there's a lot of changes, like, in their face and their body and all that stuff. But she had a really great time. And then I'm just still shocked that she recognized her. He took her to Five Below, which is, like, right next door. And the last time they went to Five Below, she was very methodical and decided there was nothing there that she wanted. But this time she got some friends, some soft friends. And he decided for himself. She picked up this little llama, and it has, like, something on it that says, like, "Happy Holidays" with teeny tiny Christmas trees. And, like, I don't think either one of them realized that it was on there. Not that, like, if she wants a llama that has a Christmas tree embroidered on its back, whatever. But he got this pig unicorn, and he's, like, talking about it. I'm like, "You got that because it reminds you of me." He didn't say that, but it was very cute. And it has a little pig snout. It's super, super cute, but it was funny. But it makes me sad when I have moments like that, like, I'm missing out on that with my kid because I'm just not feeling well enough. And that was an indication of what was to come because the next day I just remember, like, adamantly being like, I am just so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I didn't know if me not feeling well was related to anything or if it was something new or what. And I had told my husband, like, I'm gonna go to urgent care in a few days if I don't feel better, which I pushed back even more because fat phobia in the medical community is real, and I really didn't feel like dealing with it or being shamed or anything like that. And the fact that it gave me that much anxiety to go to simply see what was going on with me or to be treated for whatever was going on with me just kind of says, like, where we're at with our medical community, that me being overweight has absolutely nothing to do with whether I have an ear infection or not. And thankfully, I didn't have any issues when I went. But my husband and I finished watching... Is that called Archive? Archive 81? Brian?
What?
Archive 81?
Yeah.
Archive 81. If anybody else watched that, let me know. I really, really enjoyed it. But it was one of those shows, like, the entire time that I was watching it, I was just like, ooh, this makes me feel very uneasy. And it was like a weirdness, a feeling that, like, I could not explain it. So if anybody else has watched it, let me know. I think I've had this conversation before, but let me know if you guys would be interested. I don't know that I would necessarily do it as, like, a live stream or a YouTube video or anything like that, but if anybody is interested in, like, I don't want to call it, like, a watch party. Like, if you guys want to just do, like, a Facebook room or an Instagram room where we just all kind of get into, like, a big group chat or a Zoom, whatever, to discuss, like, 90 Day Fiance, Married at First Sight, 1,000-Pound Sisters. Like, these shows are my regular rotation shows. And, like, shout out to Marlene. She is my 90 Day girl. WIP Chat. all the time about 90 Day Fiancé. But if anybody has any interest in like actually like hopping in and doing like a Facebook room or something like that, I would love to just hang out with you guys and talk shitty TV. So if anybody is watching 90 Day Fiancé, spoiler alert, if you have not seen this in the news, the Caleb and Alina storyline is now being erased from the show. No, I'm not going to talk about this for a long time. If anybody's like, I don't watch 90 Day Fiancé. If anybody doesn't know who the couple is, she's from Russia. She is a little person, and she met Caleb like 13 years ago. And it's been a super awkward, super cringy the whole time. He totally does not understand anything about disabilities. Like, he literally got like a backpack to put her in, like Baby Yoda style, to go hiking. And I was like, she's okay. I can't. But turns out they're being fired from the show because of her, because she apparently had posted some very racially inappropriate comments and then showed zero remorse for it. So she and him, their storyline has been completely removed, and I don't think that they're going to be airing anything else with them in it. And like, her and I were talking, and she's like, but I want to know what happens. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you what happens. They don't stay together. This is not a real relationship, because they're both, it's just a mess. So if you guys would have any interest in doing like a hangout and discussing shitty TV, I am all in, all for it. Let me know. Let's schedule it. Let's do it. All that fun stuff. I am looking forward to getting the event sponsor accessories video up as soon as I get the last thing in the mail. I have some art that I have been sitting on waiting to record a video on for an excessively long time. And I think that you guys would enjoy that. I do have another crochet video that I'd like to record. I'm just super behind on everything. So if there's anything in particular that you guys would like to see, please let me know. I am always willing to check out a product or to film a video that you guys want to see. And I'm hoping that I can figure out the situation with my Instagram sooner rather than later, so that I can, get more reels up and running. I can post, progress photos of this canvas. If you guys do see me posting anything, in the immediate future, if you will, it's, unless something was fixed, it's all happening from my tablet. So I am limited on what I can and cannot post, because like the video quality on that is very low. The audio on that is not as good. So I likely wouldn't be using it to film a reel, something like that. But if there's something that's already saved to my Google Photos, like I took a photo last night of my progress of this canvas, and I will be sharing that today directly from the Google Photos. Like, that photo's not on my tablet, if that makes sense. So I think these are the ears of the bat here. I think I'm going to put pink crystals in there. What do you guys think? Do we like that? These are different crystals than the ones I'm using. Those are purple. I don't know why I just said they're different crystals. But shall we test that out? For my OGs that are staying all the way to the end of the video, if you guys made it this far, leave me an emoji. Or what do I want to leave an emoji for? I don't know. Leave me an emoji relating to Alice in Wonderland. You guys be creative, do whatever it is that you want to do. I gotta say, thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart, all of you who have been participating, whether you are participating by using a canvas and working on it and sharing your progress, or if you are somebody who has been just admiring other people's work and commenting, because the point is to build the community, right? Like, meet new people, have your shared experiences and just, you know, meet new people, have fun. All right, let's see. Do we like that? I'm gonna turn the light off. I don't know if I like that or not. Let's see what it looks like with the regular pink, and then we can make a decision. I feel like I already like this better. The only thing I don't like about crystals is sometimes I have like really high hopes for how they'll translate into something, and then I put them on and then I take them back off because I'm like, I don't like that. I have to have another tray here, right? Another tray that doesn't have stuff in it. Hello, tray? Where are you? Tray? Tray? Here we go. Sorry. I don't mind like doing like the pick and place or whatever people call it. But sometimes it just makes it a little bit more difficult. And I don't want to turn the light back on the light pad and then turn it back off, because if you guys are watching this, like, I don't want to give you guys a headache. But I also need to change the wax in this pen. I've been saying that for the entirety of my WIP Chat. So let's see. Yeah, I definitely like it better with the regular pink. So I'm going to pull these off and then just replace them with the pink. I'm sure I'll have use for the pink crystals for something else. I love crystals. Are you guys? It's weird because when I worked on an entire crystal canvas, which if I can still link something in the eye, I'll link the post review for my crystal canvas up in the eye. But when I worked on that, like, full crystal gave me a really bad headache. But I prefer the look of crystals over the look of ABs, which I feel like this would be really cute with a little pop of like pink AB. But, you know, sometimes crystals, this will be my final thought, my Jerry's final thought. Sometimes crystals leave you with that appearance of like you're missing drills. And I obviously don't want that. So like, I love the way they look here in the border. But you know, I tried it in the ears of the bat and I didn't love it. So if you guys made it all the way through, you guys are my heroes. If you guys enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more content like this, or, you know, nothing like this at all, please make sure to give this video 2 thumbs up. One real life, one virtual. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Come join the Sparkle Squad. And while you're there, hit that notification bell.
Dang.
I do not operate on any sort of schedule. I operate on toddler standard time, and I record when my tiny human is sleeping or sleeping. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.